In the mid-1950s, engineers at Hiller Aircraft developed an unusual flying machine, the VZ-1 Pawnee platform. This experimental project for the U.S. Army allowed a person to literally hover above the ground, controlling movement by shifting their body weight. Despite its impressive appearance, the machine proved too slow and unstable for military use, and the project was eventually canceled. In the 1920s and 1930s, parents in crowded cities across Britain and the U.S. installed special baby cages on their windows. These cages allowed infants to safely enjoy fresh air when no gardens or balconies were available. Despite their risky appearance, such devices were seen as a practical solution for promoting children's health. Albert Einstein in a casual moment, a rare sight. In 1939, he spent the summer in the U.S. enjoying quiet time by the water. Wearing a simple shirt, shorts, and sandals, he looked like any other vacationer. This photo reveals the genius beyond science, relaxed, human, and deeply alive. Paris, 1932. An inventor tests an unusual amphibious bicycle designed to travel both on land and water. The frame was fitted with sealed floats that provided balance and buoyancy. The machine could carry a load of around 120 pounds. Though its appearance was unconventional, the idea of combining a bike and a boat continued to inspire engineers for decades. London, 1929. An unusually hot day put even store displays to the test. This photo shows wax mannequins melting under direct sunlight. Their distorted faces and bodies became an unintentional reminder of how nature can disrupt even the most perfect images of fashion. The image quickly spread through newspapers, disturbing and fascinating passers-by. New York City, 1973. A woman holds a true breakthrough, the world's first mobile phone. The Motorola Dynatac weighed nearly a kilogram and offered just 30 minutes of talk time. Despite its size, this bulky device marked the start of the mobile communication era that would transform daily life for millions. Italy, 1957. A woman in a traditional winery crushes grapes with her bare feet, a method dating back thousands of years. This gentle technique preserved the aroma and structure of the fruit without breaking the seeds. Even in the age of machines, handmade wine remains cherished for its authenticity and flavor. New York, 1931. To demonstrate the strength of a new bulletproof glass, a police officer fires point blank, right at the head of a volunteer behind the pane. Back then, inventors became their own test subjects to prove their work. Today, they'd probably test it on a mannequin, wearing a helmet, just in case. New Zealand, 1950s. In cities like Christchurch, special rear-mounted stroller racks were installed on buses to help mothers. Instead of folding and carrying them inside, women handed the prams to the driver who secured them on the back. Simple, practical, and no need to wrestle with a trunk. San Francisco, 1973. When demolition cost more than relocation, entire houses were moved across town on flatbed trucks. Walls, windows, and all. These operations required careful planning, road closures, and nerves of steel. United States, 1918. Red Cross nurses care for patients during the Spanish flu pandemic. They wore improvised masks made from fabric and cotton, with glass covering their eyes. Amid shortages of medicine and protective equipment, these women stood on the front lines of one of the deadliest epidemics of the 20th century. United States, 1940s. Women operate ENIAC, one of the world's first electronic computers. They manually reconnected cables and adjusted control panels to perform complex calculations. These early programmers played a crucial role in the development of computing, even though their contributions were overlooked for decades. United States, 1940s. A woman uses a portable sauna called the Redico-Matic, a popular device at the time, intended to promote weight loss through heat. Electrically powered, it enclosed the body to simulate a sauna effect. Devices like this were considered safe and fashionable methods of slimming in the pre-fitness era. England, 1910. Workers at the Hingley & Sons factory in Netherton forged an anchor chain for the RMS Titanic. Each link weighed over 200 pounds and was crafted by hand using hammers and traditional blacksmithing. These men were part of a vast industrial era where strength and skill ensured the reliability of the greatest ships of their time. United States, early 1930. A rare photograph of Bonnie Parker and Clyde Barrow, the notorious bank robbers of the Great Depression era. Despite their crimes, the couple became symbols of rebellion against the system. Their story ended in 1934 when they were ambushed and killed by police. No, this isn't a scene from a horror movie. It's a Christmas visit at a hospital in Sweden, 1953. Nurses dressed as fairy tale gnomes bring holiday cheer to a patient. While the mask may seem unsettling today, this was once seen as a heartwarming tradition. Back then, it was the thought that counted, not the optics. United States, 1905. One of the earliest prototypes of four-wheeled roller skates. Far from ergonomic, they lacked bearings, had stiff wheels, and were hard to steer. Still, designs like this paved the way for the modern roller skate and opened up a whole new kind of recreation. This is an experimental Army sleeping bag from the US 1947. Designed to keep soldiers warm and combat-ready, it allowed for an immediate response while remaining camouflaged. The concept blended insulation, mobility, and access to a rifle. Quite literally, sleeping with your weapon. During World War I, fuel shortages led to creative solutions. This 1917 photo shows a taxi powered by gas, literally. A huge gas-filled balloon was mounted on the roof, supplying the engine in place of scarce petrol. These gas bag cars were common in Europe at the time, despite being unstable, slow, and dangerously flammable. Italy, 1944. British soldiers trained in a highly specific skill, diffusing explosives in total darkness. Blindfolded, they practiced identifying and disarming mines by touch alone. This training was crucial for night operations where one mistake could cost lives. It's a chilling reminder of the quiet, invisible dangers of war. Early 1900s, United States. This bizarre steampunk-like contraption is an experimental diving suit designed by Enos B. Petrie. Made of metal and weighing over 500 pounds, it was meant to withstand deep sea pressure. Though it looked more like a walking boiler than functional gear, it marked a bold step toward modern diving technology. A vintage photograph from 1926 shows the Michelin Man, known then as Bibendum, posing beside a promotional vehicle in Santa Clara, Cuba. Used to advertise Michelin tires and Chiclets gum, the scene reflects early 20th century marketing tactics, when costumed mascots and traveling vans brought products directly to the public in eye-catching ways. A young cyclist from Tarvastu, Estonia, poses with his self-made wooden bicycle in 1912. Built entirely from scrap timber, the bike lacks pedals and rubber, yet captures a striking example of rural ingenuity and childhood resilience in early 20th century Europe. Though crude by modern standards, creations like this were a source of pride and joy for children growing up in hardship. How about one of the earliest radars? Before the invention of electronic radar, acoustic location devices like this one were used to detect distant aircraft by sound. This 1921 photo shows a U.S. soldier operating a massive twin-horn acoustic locator near Fort Totten, New York, an attempt to hear approaching enemy planes well before they could be seen. No, this isn't a masquerade ball. This 1961 photograph was taken inside the Disneyland employee cafeteria, where off-duty cast members from different themed areas gathered for a break. Cowboys, princesses, dancers, and even costumed characters from the park mingled freely, creating a surreal behind-the-scenes glimpse into the early days of Walt Disney's magical empire. In this remarkable 1898 photograph, Walter Rothschild, British zoologist and eccentric aristocrat, rides through London in a carriage pulled by zebras. Known for his private menagerie and passion for exotic animals, Rothschild famously trained zebras to prove they could be domesticated, challenging the common belief that they were untrainable. This rare promotional photo features actress Carrie Fisher alongside Treat Williams, both dressed in costumes resembling those from The Empire Strikes Back, 1980. While Williams never appeared in Star Wars, the image is believed to be from a publicity or costume test event, possibly exploring alternate casting or simply capturing a playful behind-the-scenes moment. A woman poses proudly beside the legendary 1927 Bugatti Type 41 Royale Coupe Napoleon, one of the most luxurious and imposing cars ever built. Designed by Ettore Bugatti for royalty, only 6 of these massive vehicles were produced, featuring a 12.7-liter engine and unmatched craftsmanship, an ultimate symbol of pre-war automotive extravagance. Before it crossed the Atlantic, the Statue of Liberty's colossal head was displayed at the 1878 Exposition Universelle in Paris. Visitors could pay to climb up into the head, which was exhibited separately as a fundraising effort and engineering showcase while the full statue was still under construction. In this striking image, music legend Tina Turner poses high above Paris on the Eiffel Tower during a bold 1960s photo shoot. Known for her fearless presence on and off the stage, Turner balanced on the iconic iron structure in high heels, embodying both elegance and raw power in one unforgettable shot. In this remarkable photo from the 1910s, U.S. postal workers pose with autopeds, an early motorized scooter used to deliver mail in major cities. Powered by a small gasoline engine, the autoped was compact and efficient, making it a futuristic solution for urban mobility decades before scooters became mainstream again. This humble roadside stand, photographed in the early 1920s, marks the origins of A&W Root Beer, one of the first American fast food chains. Founded by Roy W. Allen in 1919, A&W began as a simple root beer stand and eventually grew into a nationwide franchise, helping to shape the drive-in dining culture of the 20th century. This futuristic-looking Coca-Cola delivery truck from 1939 was equipped with an actual soda fountain at the back, turning every stop into a miniature refreshment station. Designed for promotional use, it reflected the brand's innovative approach to marketing, combining mobility, style, and instant service in one unforgettable vehicle. In the early 1960s, British performance artist Bruce Lacey built a series of bizarre suits that blurred the line between art and science. This peculiar outfit, resembling a homemade robot, was part of his satirical take on modern technology and militarism. Though it never served any practical function, it remains a striking relic of experimental design and social commentary. During the 1930s, novelty tall-tale postcards became popular across rural America. This photo, showing a young man with a rifle and an enormous grasshopper, was likely part of that tradition, a playful exaggeration meant to amuse friends and family. While the insect is clearly fake, the moment captures a whimsical side of Depression-era Americana. This chilling image, taken in Poland in the late 1970s or early 1980s, shows a civil defense worker during a nuclear preparedness drill. Wearing full protective gear and a gas mask, he pushes a baby stroller, likely containing monitoring equipment or a training dummy. Such scenes were part of Cold War-era exercises aimed at preparing civilians for chemical or radioactive emergencies. In 1984, workers began restoring the Statue of Liberty's torch, which had suffered severe corrosion over the decades. This photo captures one of the final inspections before the original torch was removed and replaced. In the background, the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center loom over New York Harbor, a moment frozen between two eras of American history. In 1976, inside a modest garage in California, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak built the Apple I, a handmade personal computer that would spark a technological revolution. This rare photo captures the two founders with the early prototype, months before Apple Computer became an official company. What began on a wooden table would one day change the world. This is a real photograph from the 1920s, showing a woman wearing a so-called beauty beach mask. These strange masks were popular among fair-skinned women to protect their faces from tanning and preserve a pale complexion, a sign of high society and status at the time. The mask covered the entire face except for the eyes and mouth, and sometimes even featured slits for breathing or a built-in smile. This 1937 photo captures actors Stanley Morner and Betty Furness rehearsing a kissing scene while wearing surgical masks during a flu outbreak. Intended as a precaution against infection, the image became a symbolic reminder that even in times of illness, people found creative ways to preserve intimacy and continue everyday life. Jack Earl, standing over 8 feet tall, greets a government official on the steps of the U.S. Capitol in the early 1930s. As one of the tallest men in the world, Earl toured with Ringling Brothers Circus and often made public appearances that blended showmanship with gentle diplomacy. His towering presence was both a marvel and a symbol of American spectacle. This haunting photo from 1911 shows a group of breaker boys, young children who worked in coal mines in Pennsylvania, separating coal from rock by hand. Taken by reformist photographer Lewis Hine, the image helped expose the brutal realities of child labor in early 20th century America and played a key role in shaping modern labor laws. This striking 1963 photo shows inventor Hugo Gernsback wearing his prototype television eyeglasses, an early attempt at creating a portable viewing device. Though bulky and never mass-produced, the idea reflected Gernsback's visionary imagination and foreshadowed today's obsession with wearable screens and immersive media. This 1942 photograph shows Nan Woodgram and Dr. Byron McKeeby, the models from Grant Wood's iconic American Gothic 1930, standing in the gallery beside the painting. Taken shortly after the artist's death, it marked the first time the subjects and painting were reunited publicly in Cedar Rapids, offering a rare glimpse at the real people behind one of America's most recognizable works of art. This sleek 1937 photograph captures the experimental PLM-221B aérienne locomotive at Paris's Gare de Lyon. Its aerodynamic shell was meant to boost speed and style, but the project ended when World War II began. In 1973, Seattle tested curbside charging for electric cars during the oil crisis. This photo shows an experimental AMC gremlin being plugged in at an electro-park station. 1 hour of power cost just 25 cents. This 1993 behind-the-scenes photo shows Elijah Wood and Macaulay Culkin on the set of The Good Son, sharing a light moment between takes. Their smiles contrast sharply with the film's dark and intense story. In January 1954, dozens of Chicago residents lined up with their dogs outside the Illinois Animal Welfare League. The city launched a widespread rabies vaccination campaign following a local outbreak, with thousands of pets treated over several weeks to contain the threat. This striking 1919 photo shows a crew towing an entire wooden house through San Francisco streets using a makeshift truck rig. It's a vivid snapshot of early urban ingenuity, moving an entire home 1 block at a time. In the 1930s, Coca-Cola was delivered door to door. This photo shows a uniformed delivery crew unloading crates of glass bottles from a branded truck. It's a forgotten era when soda came straight to your front steps. This strange-looking device wasn't for listening to aliens, but it was part of early telephone research. Long before sleek handsets, inventors experimented with giant cones to transmit sound, a bizarre, brilliant step toward the phones we carry today. This unusual photo from the 1890s shows a couple on an old-fashioned bicycle. It's an early version of the tandem, a bold and stylish way for couples to travel together when bicycles were just becoming popular. Before alarm clocks were common, some knocker-uppers used blowpipes to shoot small objects, like dried peas, at windows to wake people up. It was a paid profession across industrial England, where punctuality relied on the rhythm of a stranger's knock. In the days before radar, strange contraptions like these acoustic headsets were used to detect enemy aircraft. German soldiers in 1917 relied on these oversized ears to pick up distant engine noises, an early attempt to hear danger before it could be seen. This oversized weapon is a punt gun, used in the 19th and early 20th centuries for commercial duck hunting. Too large to fire from the shoulder, it was mounted on boats and could take down dozens of birds in one shot. A practice eventually banned for devastating bird populations. Long before selfies became a global trend, Paul McCartney snapped this mirror self-portrait with a Rolleiflex camera. Taken in 1963 as Beatlemania was taking hold in Britain, the photo captures a rare personal glimpse of a young star just before the world truly caught on. In the 1920s, swimwear laws in the US were strictly enforced. This photo shows a beach patrol officer measuring the distance from a woman's knee to the hem of her swimsuit. If it was deemed too short, she could be fined or even arrested for violating modesty regulations. This eye-catching prototype from the 1960s is the Lambretta Amphi-scooter, designed to ride both on land and water. Though it worked, it was more of a marketing stunt than a practical vehicle. Still, it perfectly captured the era's bold optimism and love for quirky innovation. This 1881 photo from Kankakee, Georgia, shows a man beside a massive clay vessel called a kvevré. Buried underground, kvevres have been used for thousands of years to ferment and store wine, a tradition so integral to Georgian culture that it's recognized by UNESCO. In the 1940s, this child from Talybont, Wales, was photographed with the family's unusual pet, a tame fox. Raised by Mr. and Mrs. Gordon Jones, the fox was treated like any household companion, capturing a rare and touching example of trust between wild and human worlds. This 1950s photo from the Soviet Union shows a sanitation worker spraying DDT to combat lice in a private home. Such disinfection campaigns were common during post-war years, aiming to prevent outbreaks of typhus and other diseases linked to poor hygiene conditions. This famous photo shows Wojtek, a Syrian brown bear enlisted by the Polish Second Corps during World War II. Raised by soldiers from cubhood, Wojtek helped carry ammunition and boosted morale. He was officially listed as a soldier and even had a rank and service number. This 1917 image shows a brave French Red Cross dog wearing a gas mask. During World War I, these loyal animals served crucial roles as messengers or mercy dogs, searching for wounded soldiers. Their protective gear was vital against chemical attacks. This photo highlights the extreme measures taken to save lives in brutal conflict. In 1965, President Lyndon B. Johnson drove his amphicar into a lake at his Texas ranch. He was known for pranking guests, pretending the brakes failed, then driving the amphibious vehicle right into the water. This unique car combined land and water travel. Johnson loved surprising visitors with his playful, unconventional style. Behold this groovy gadget from the mid-1960s, an early portable hairdryer? Forget your sleek Dyson. This involved a soft, inflatable bonnet, like a stylish space helmet, connected to a suitcase-sized blower. Imagine the glamour of bringing salon-worthy hair home. While maybe not the most elegant look, this quirky invention was a fun and significant step towards modern beauty convenience. Talk about unusual beauty pageants. Here, contestants in a beautiful legs contest wear pillowcases over their heads. This peculiar event, often held at places like Coney Island in the mid-20th century, ensured judges focused solely on the legs. No faces, no distractions, just pure leg assessment. What a hilarious and wonderfully weird look into a bygone era of entertainment. Here are Neil Armstrong, Michael Collins, and Buzz Aldrin. This iconic 1969 photo captures the Apollo 11 crew smiling, just months before their historic moon landing. Standing before their mighty Saturn V rocket, their calm confidence is evident. It's a powerful glimpse into the optimism and ambition that propelled humanity to the stars. This striking photo from the late 1800s showcases a unique exhibit, the preserved nervous system of Harriet Cole. A hospital cleaner, Cole chose to donate her body to science. However, the exact reasons for this profound decision remain a mystery. Created by anatomist Rufus B. Nesbitt, this intricate display is a rare Mütter Museum treasure, a poignant medical legacy. Meet these tough Princeton students from 1893. With black eyes and bruised faces, you'd think they fought a boxing match. Actually, this is their aftermath from an epic snowball fight. Back then, university snow battles were brutal, full-contact events. This photo truly captures the wild, competitive spirit of bygone college days. In 1925, archaeologist Howard Carter and his team finally unveiled the golden sarcophagus of Tutankhamun. After years of careful excavation, they revealed the young pharaoh's mummy inside. This iconic photo captures that awe-inspiring moment. It's a testament to incredible perseverance and a golden discovery that captivated the world. Friends, if you enjoy these videos, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and let us know in the comments what you would like to see in future episodes. Thank you for watching.